The shift had started normally. Quiet halls, flickering monitors, the usual creaks of the aging pizzeria. But halfway through your rounds, your breathing tightened, your chest felt heavy, your hands trembled as a wave of panic washed over you. Sharp, sudden, overwhelming. You leaned against the wall, trying to steady yourself. Not now, not here. But the panic didn't listen. Inside Pirate's Cove, Foxy's ears twitched. Something felt wrong. Not physically wrong in the building, but something wrong with you. A muffled, shaky breath echoed down the hallway, and Foxy stood immediately. "Ryan?" he called out, but no answer. He stepped out of the cove, quick but quiet, slowly tightening every movement. He followed the sound, and found you slumped against the wall, trembling. Foxy's eye widened, and he hurried over. "Hey, hey, easy now," he said, kneeling beside you. "Look at me, Ryan. What's happening?" You try to speak, but your breath broke into small, uneven gasps. Foxy froze for a second. He recognized the signs. This wasn't fear of the animatronics. This was panic itself. He lowered his voice instantly, softer than anyone had ever heard from him. "All right, come here." Without waiting, Foxy gently pulled you towards him, letting you lean fully into his chest. Your forehead pressed against warm metal. Your fingers clutched the fabric of his pirate coated. Foxy wrapped both arms around you, hook included, trying to shelter you from everything. "Breathe with me," he murmured, "one breath at a time." Slow as a calm tide, he exaggerated his own breathing pattern, even though he didn't need to breathe, and you tried to match it. "There we go," Foxy whispered. "Aye, that's it. Nice and slow." Your breath hitched again. Your shoulders shook. Foxy tightened his voice, pulling you closer. "It's alright. I got ye," he said, voice low and steady. "Ye ain't alone. Not tonight. Not ever when I be around." He brushed his knuckles against your back, slow and grounding. The panic didn't stop right away, but Foxy stayed with you through every tremor. When you could finally stand, Foxy kept an arm firmly around you. "Come," he whispered. "Let's get you somewhere quiet." He guided you into Pilot's Cove, dim and warm under candlelight. He set you down on his padded bench, never once letting go of your hand. Your breathing was steadier, but your eyes still glistened. Foxy sat right beside you, close enough that your shoulders touched. "Tell me what you need," he murmured. You shook your head weakly. I I don't know. I just got overwhelmed." Foxy nodded softly. "Then let me help ye find calm." Foxy draped his favorite pirate blanket around your shoulders. "There," he said gently. "Warmth helps." He sat beside you, opening his arm in invitation. You hesitated only a moment, then leaned into him fully. Foxy held you close, rubbing slow circles on your back with his thumb. "You're safe with me," he whispered. "No judgment, no shame. Panic don't make me weak. It just means ye've been strong for too long." You felt your throat tighten again, but this time it wasn't panic. It was relief. Tears slipped down your cheek before you could stop it, and Foxy noticed immediately. Ah, little one, he murmured, brushing it away with gentle claws. No need to hide that from me. He exhaled shakily. I'm sorry. Foxy shook his head, pressing his forehead lightly to yours. No apologies, he said firmly. If ye need to cry, then cry. I'll hold ye through all of it. So you cried, quietly, into Foxy's chest, and Foxy held you, strong and steady. After a while, your breathing evened out. Your shoulders relaxed. Your eyes felt heavy again, but not from panic, from comfort. Foxy tilted his head, smiling softly. There we are, back with me. You wiped your face, embarrassed. Thank you. I didn't mean for you to see me like that. Foxy lifted his chin. I'm glad I was here, he said. I gotta you get on me if it's suffer alone. His thumb lingered under your jaw, warm and reassuring. I'll always come running when you need me. Foxy laid back against the bench and gently guided West against his side. Stay here, he said quietly. The night can wait. Your well-being comes first. You leaned into him, exhaustion finally catching up. Can I really stay here with you? Foxy's arms wrapped around you again, protective and warm. He whispered. Wait here. I won't let the world bother you, ye bit. You drifted off slowly, your breathing soft and calm at last. Foxy nuzzled your head gently. Rest easy, little matey, he murmured. I'll watch over you until dawn. And he did, protecting you through the night.